What's up, guys? Welcome back to the new Scripting for Beginners series that I'm starting. Last episode, we went over some of the basic Roblox Studio tools and just an introduction to what we're going to be doing in this series. In this episode, we're going to talk about print statements and what they're for and how you can write them. So, to recap, if you need to know how to open the menus again because they got closed or whatever reason, you just want to go to your View tab at the very top of your window, and then you want to open your Explorer and your properties. And those are the only things that you're going to need for this video. You don't really need the properties right now, but it's nice to have it open so that you can be looking at other things and learning as we go. So first you're going to want to go, and you can just right click on the screen for this, but you can also right click in a workspace to practice putting it where you want it to go. So you're going to right click on workspace, insert object, and click on script. There are other ways to insert the script, but this is one of the main ways to do it so that you don't have to figure out how to insert other things because it's all in the same place basically. So when you open your script, you're going to see this default text here that says print hello world. So before we explain it, why don't we just go ahead and run it so you guys can see what it does. Oh, you're also going to need to open in your view tab, you're going to need to open your output section because this is where you're going to see your print statements at. So if I go to test like last time and I press run, you will see at the bottom of the screen, it prints hello world in the output. So we can stop it because if you don't stop it, it won't save the changes that we make now. So the print is basically going to put whatever is in the quotations that are following it in the output. And what this is useful for is mainly debugging because let's say, for example, you have 20 lines of code and you're opening a door or something. Yeah, so let's just go with opening the door. So let's say that your door opens, but your code to close it isn't working. So what you would want to do is put different print statements throughout the code so that after each step of what the code does, it prints something different. So you know exactly where the script is getting stuck at. And it makes it really easy to find the problems and why things don't work because instead of just not knowing at all what might be wrong, you can at least narrow it down to a couple lines of code so you can pinpoint where the issue might be at. So print is just putting whatever you want it to into the output, and you can change hello world to anything you want it to be. And you can make multiple of them. So for example, let's add a new print line and we'll put print. I'll just put my name is Dre. So if I press run, it now printed hello world again, and it printed my name is Dre. So you can put as many print statements as you want, and you can put anything inside of the quotations that you want, but they have to be in the quotations for it to work. And in scripting, capitalization matters a lot. In the quotations, that is the only time usually that capitalization does not matter because it's a quote, and it just think of it as a quote, and it's not like a variable or anything, so it could be whatever you want it to be. And as an example, I will change the lowercase p to a capital P. And you can see that it's underlining it and saying it doesn't know what that is. So, and if we run it, it will give me a error, attempt to call a nil value. And what that means is that Roblox doesn't know what it is. So it's trying to call something with that name, but it doesn't exist. Print with a lowercase p exists, but not with an uppercase p. And it's really important that you use the right capitalization. So you can think of a script as what's in the background telling Roblox what to do. So like I explained last time, your workspace is everything physical, like the sphere that we created last time. That's a physical workspace property. You can have things that are invisible in the workspace, but it still physically exists. It's just invisible. But let's say you want it to change colors when you click on it. That's what the script would do. The script would run in the background and tell the objects in Explorer what to do. Roblox scripting is written in Lua if you wanted to look more into it. It's kind of cool. You can see there's a lot of different languages and they're all written a little differently. But something similar to Lua would be like Python if you're interested in looking into other languages too. One thing that may help you, depending on your screen size, is you can press Control key and use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out so you can make the text bigger or smaller so it's more comfortable for you to read. You can also press Control with the plus and the minus key on your keyboard if you're using a laptop and don't have a scroll wheel. So I'm going to give you two examples of what you can do with the print statement. And it might not entirely make sense until later, like with variables and other things like that, but it will at least give you an idea of what print statements can also be used for. So we can just delete the print statements that exist right now, and I'll make sure it's zoomed in so you guys can see it good. So let's just say I have a variable. We'll just say it's a math problem. So we'll just say roses equal 5. So we'll just say that the are equal to the number 5. You don't have to understand how the variables work right now, but just know that roses are equal to 5. So I can then make a print statement, but we're not going to use the quotations this time because we're not putting a quote. We're printing something that already exists and not something that I'm saying. So we can do print roses and press run. And you can see that it printed what roses is equal to because roses equal 5. And you can do this for anything. You could make it equal anything that you want. We could make dog equal 4. And then we can print roses and we can print dog. Oh, I see. Okay, this is a good example. I forgot to press stop. And now if I press stop, okay, maybe it's updated now, but usually it doesn't save what you have, but I might have changed the settings or something. But I can press run, and now it'll print what roses is and what 4 is, or what dog is. Sorry, because dog is 4. So another example is we have roses equal 5, dogs equal 4. So I could print, or we don't even need the other variables. Let's say I want to do some math problems, but I don't want to use the calculator to solve it. So I can do print 4 plus 5. I'll run that, and it prints 9 because it did the math for me because I didn't use the quotations this time. You can do any kind of math that you want, but we won't worry about that right now. We'll worry about that later when we're doing variables and things like that. But just know that whenever you print something like this, it's going to put it in the output. But one other thing that I'm going to show you before I call it a day is we are going to print the name of something. So I can insert a block and I'll give it the name. We'll just call it block to make it simple. And as for the example, I'm just going to make it easy. If you guys don't have to understand all this right now, I am going to put the script in the block just for simplicity's sake while I'm making this. Where did my block go? I don't know what happened to my block, but I'm going to make a new block now. We're going to put the script in the block. I'm going to name it block. And I'm just going to do part name equals script.parent. And I will be explaining how this works in the next video or two. But I'm going to now do print part name. So remember that the name of the break is block. So when I do run, it's going to print block. And I didn't specifically tell it to print block, but I told it to print the name of the object that I'm choosing. And you can do this for all kind of things. But that's enough for today. That's the basics of print statements. I encourage everybody to write what you tried after watching this video. Every video, I'm going to try to give you some kind of goal that you can do afterwards to help you learn it. And it's just something that you can do on your own time as a little activity to learn more about it. So write your own print statements, comment down below what you wrote, and I'll see you in the next video.